when you know you don't like where you are, it's a great start. But again, if I don't know where I'm going, I don't know how to put a plan together. So let's say I was the stay-at-home wife. I started to realize I had been swallowing my dreams for 8 years. Why? Why was I doing that? I had to start there. What was the conditioning and the thought process that made me think like I couldn't speak up? My husband showed me every step of the way that he loves me and he'll support me in whatever I want to do. And so it all came to what got me stuck in the first place. That was important to me. And so I backtracked and I wrote the script. What was the things that I was saying to myself? It was the word when. I will do this when. I will tell Tom that I don't like cooking for him when we have enough money that I can then go do what I want. I will go after my dreams when Tom's made enough money and we have enough money to go make movies. I will speak up about not having kids when. Like the when is so powerful to us that keeps us stuck. And what I had to ask myself is, what happens if the when never came? So I'm going to do X, Y, and Z when this happens. What if that thing never happens? What now? Now you have a choice. And so taking away that when was very powerful for me. So now I have to figure out what I'm actually then going to do with my life. What do I actually want to do? So of course it was making movies. How do I articulate that to the people in my life that I'm about to make a change in my life? Because to her point, she doesn't know how to.
Right.
It's hard to speak up.
Right.
So I had to have the clarity of what I'm trying to do. So clarity is the goal. It's the what, the how much, and by when.
That's a great little tip. Because for any of you that are sitting there listening going, but I don't know what I want, but I don't know what I want. Lisa's basically going, that's not true. Because somewhere down in the back of your mind, you have a timeline where you say, when this happens, then I'll do X. So if you answer that, when I can pay my bills, then I'll do the X. When I don't have to do this, then I'll do that. When, a lot of people write in, when the kids are grown up, then I'll get a divorce. And that when is holding you hostage. And it's also the reason why you're not in touch with what you want.
Correct. And I call it you're in the purgatory of the mundane. Your life's just mundane enough.
It's not rock bottom yet.
No, homie, and this is the powerful thing. So I think way more people are stuck in the when than hit rock bottom and like, well, I got no other choice. I got to make a move. And it's the when that keeps us freaking stuck that never gets us to change because it's not bad enough. You haven't hit rock bottom. The pain isn't bad enough for you to actually go and make a change in your life. And so how many people, this is what I was living. I was like, how's life? It's fine. I'm all right. If you find you're saying, it's fine, I'm all right, it means you're not fine and you're not all right. It means that you're disguising something for your own protection. I get it. It's a protective mechanism that you have to say, I'm doing this because of.
For a lot of people, the when is when I have the money.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
What is your advice to somebody?
It's an excuse. I mean that with compassion because now look, when I say an excuse, I mean you can't then not have money and go, I'm going to go and spend $100,000 on building a studio. Like, yeah, right, you don't have the money.
Right.
But if you're saying I can't create content because I don't have $100,000 because I don't have a studio.
Or I don't have the new camera, or I don't have this, or I don't have that.
Exactly. It's an excuse. You can pick up your iPhone and shoot something right now for free on your phone. Obviously you have to have the money for the phone, but you see what I'm saying. So I very much think the money, you think grand, and I would just go granular. If I had to, and I love challenging myself, if I had to create a YouTube channel and I didn't have a penny except my phone, what would I do? All right, now I'll put a plan in place.
That's right. Well, you have a phone, so you could get to YouTube. But I was even like, you could go to a local library and log on to YouTube for free and create a channel at a computer sitting at a library. And if you have the phone, you can film it. And so I don't have the money is BS.
It's just holding you back. And look, the problem with excuses is they actually sometimes are very real.
Yes.
And so it's up to you. Like, I am such a person of like, do you, homie? Like, if you want to just do nothing with your life and you love that, like, have the life you actually want. I don't care. But if you're sitting there in pain and hating your life and using reasons that's holding you back, the only person that's suffering is you. The only person that's being impacted is you. And remember what I said, people around you are living their own lives. Your parents, sadly, are going to go away. Your siblings are going to do their own thing. What life do you actually want? Now rip off the Band-Aid and say the money thing is an excuse. The time thing is an excuse. Because if it was damn important to me, you better believe I would figure it out. So now you go into goals. Because I'm the person, I can use my excuses to soothe my emotions. That's the trick. I absolutely can. And I know that about myself. I just don't accept it. And that's the difference. I want people to hear that. I'm the person that has used excuses. I used excuses for 8 years. And it didn't serve me. It didn't serve my goals. It didn't serve my dreams. And so by taking away the excuses, only then forced me to say, well, now what? Lisa, you're saying that your husband, you cook and clean for your husband, and that's why you can't. Okay, well, stop cooking and cleaning. Okay, well, how do I stop cooking and cleaning? Okay, well, that means you have to communicate to your husband. How do you communicate? And so I then broke each thing down, because it's like you can get grand, but it's like do one thing at a time. I no longer enjoy the life that I'm living. Great, that's number one. Communicate that to someone in your life that can maybe that support. So for me, it was Tom. I realized I didn't want to cook and clean. I realized why. So I did that internal work first before I communicated. But then I communicated. So I sat him down. I was like, all right, I figured out what I actually want. I'm firm in my convictions. I don't want to cook and clean for him anymore. I'm very firm in why. I'm very firm in
What was the why?
The why was because I was unhappy and I didn't feel like I had a purpose. I didn't have the word purpose back then, but that was the truth.
Okay.
And I loved the idea. We just started this new protein bar company that was like, oh, I can actually help someone lose weight. Or, like having a mum that was morbidly obese. That was very important to me. So what happened was my why turned into my mission. So every time that I found myself under something that was difficult, I would go back to my mum, who was my mission. So let me just break that down for you quickly. So when you have a mission, most people will say, I just want to help people. What does that actually mean? Get granular. I want to help people by creating content for women that is going to help them build confidence. Okay, that is very concrete. That is my mission. Now, every single morning that I wake up, I have a mission that I'm pulled to by my heart and soul. That way, if I fail, if I feel badly about myself, I've got the thing that I go. Call it my North Star. So you've got your North Star. Then you put in your goals. The what, the how much, and by when. That all lead into your mission. So I'm going to create 4 YouTube videos that are 30 minutes long, and I'm going to put them all out by the end of this month. All right, that's an actual goal. Now, did you either do it or you didn't? So I did that with Tom beforehand. I was like, okay, what do I actually want to do? Why do I want to do it? What's my mission? What's my goal? So I'm very concrete. And then I'm going to sit him down. Now, the communication piece. How do you talk to people about this? You give them the grace that they're human and everything isn't about you. So, okay, Tom's going to have a response and I need to hear him. I said earlier.
He has a frame of reference.
He has a frame of reference. There it is.
I love this.
And the most important thing in any relationship is to feel seen and heard. So if I come into this relationship.
I'm not cooking and cleaning anymore.
Exactly. And now deal with it. Is that me showing him respect? Is that making him part of the two of us, the couple that we promised we would be? Or is that pushing him out and saying, this is me and you just have to deal with it? I was like, that's not going to work. Imagine someone came at you. Like literally, how would you want someone to come to you and handle this discussion? So I said, okay, show him grace, show him respect, articulate why, tell him you're unhappy. So I had this literally cheat sheet of how I was going to do that conversation. And I went in and I sat him down. I was like, I love you more than life itself. But I hate cooking and cleaning, and I hope you don't think that has a reflection of how I feel about you. I don't want to do it anymore. It's making me unhappy. My goal is this. I want to do this, right? And everything I just laid out. Now, his response. Babe, what kind of husband would I be if I would rather you be unhappy and have clean underwear? What kind of husband would I be? So that was the first step, that he realized that I wasn't happy and something needed to change. But then the other thing is, he's not going to change overnight.
Right.
And so I said, babe, you've had 8 years of me cooking and cleaning for you. So I was like, how do I show him respect? Help him navigate it. So I said, you've had 8 years of me cooking and cleaning. I so appreciate your support, right? I use language very particularly. I appreciate your support. So I'm reinforcing that in him, that I'm hearing his support. I want more of it. But I also respect where you're coming from. So here's a plan that I want to propose to you, babe. Next week, I'm going to cook and clean for you 6 days a week. The week after, I'm going to cook and clean 5 days, and then 4, and then 3. How do you feel about that plan? Does that allow you time to adjust and navigate the changes that are happening to me? And he was like, you know what? Yeah, I would really love that. Thank you. And so we just spoke through it. And then like 3 months later, because I was like, I'm doing the laundry once a month.
Right.
If you've got dirty underwear, sorry. About 3 months later, he ended up with dirty underwear. And if I hadn't have had that communication, you better believe he would have been like, I can't believe I have to get my own, right? It would have been huffing and puffing and feeling like you're combating each other and you're not working as a team. But because I brought him in as a teammate in this problem that I'm having, he shouts to me one day, babe, I'm out of underwear, so I'm going commando, bye. And so he literally went to work with no underwear on. And you know what? He felt so damn good about it because he felt he was supporting me.
Does he still wear underwear?
He does want to do he does want to do the cleaning. But do you know what I mean? Like, he really did that communication piece, the understanding who you are, the setting the boundary, being strong in your convictions, bringing the other person. And then the last thing is, there's no guarantee how they were going to respond. He absolutely could have said, this isn't the person that I've married. For 8 years, you were a stay-at-home wife. You said you wanted 4 children. I don't want to change.
A lot of people blow up their relationships there. And if it is true, you shouldn't stay with somebody.
Agreed.
Where your frame of reference about what you want isn't going to match or at least work with somebody else. Staying where you're resentful, hoping another adult is going to do something they don't want to do. Mm-hmm. No adult does anything they don't want to do.
Yeah.
Let's change some lives.
Let's change some lives. When you know you don't like where you are, it's a great start. I started to realize I had been swallowing my dreams for 8 years. Why?